All right, my friends, it is Monday, a little bit after 4 o'clock, which means it's time to do the Monday Mirage. Guys are going to read us off some situations. We will deem them mirages, meaning don't get used to it, ain't nothing going to happen again. Or real, that's something you can expect to see again.
Yeah, and sometimes we're going to rank things of where they ended up, like this one. Real or mirage, the New England Patriots comeback was one of the best ever of the Brady-Belichick era.
It's hard to say that when just a year ago we watched them come back from the Falcons, the greatest comeback in the history of the Super Bowl. I'm going to go mirage just because when you say Brady, Patriots, Belichick comeback, people are going to think about over the Falcons in the Super Bowl. So that's the only reason I'm going to say mirage. It wasn't that it wasn't good. It just won't live up to the other one.
If it was another franchise, the answer would be real. But because it's Brady and Belichick, it's a mirage. It's like fourth, maybe.
Right.
They're somewhere in the mix of like maybe a comeback against the Ravens. The Falcons, of course, number one. Let's not forget they were down by double digits against Seattle.
The tuck rule against the Raiders.
Yeah, Super Bowl 40. You can go through a list of times Brady and Belichick.
I'm not better.
So I would say mirage, but if it was any other franchise not named New England or quarterback and coach not named Belichick and Brady, the answer would have been real. So let's do
And
the
that
count.
was the other thing, too. Were you even shocked? Like, at this point, were you even... Like, my brother watches football with me, like, when I'm home. And he was like, he looked up, he goes, they're too close. They're going to come back and win it. I was like, and now, he's a Panthers fan. He lived down in the Carolinas for a long time. And he was all about it. You know what I mean? So it's like, when the guy who only watches Panthers football goes, the Patriots are too close. Don't worry.
When Romo started getting way too excited in the booth, then I started getting excited. Romo's like, here it comes. Here comes Brady. I'm like, oh, my God, Romo's right again. How's he know everything always?
I wanted to push him downstairs on that one, though.
Why? Now, why'd you want to?
It was for the Patriots.
Okay. The Jacksonville
Patriot
Jaguars.
Nation.
Real or mirage, the Jacksonville Jaguars choked away a victory. Real or mirage?
I'm going to go real-ish because I believe Marone choked them.
Real-ish.
Marone choked them. It wasn't that they choked. It wasn't like Blake Bortles forgot how to be a quarterback or Fournette fumbled a bunch of times or the defense stunk or whatever. Doug Marone changed his play calling to this like safe, prevent, run the clock, stupidity, and he choked them. So if you want me on one, it's real, but it has to be on the caveat that Doug Marone was the one who put his hands around his own throat and choked it out.
I'm going to go mirage here because it's happened. It's almost back to the first answer. It's happened too many times before. If Jacksonville was the lone example of them blowing a lead against the Patriots, I'd say, yeah, they choked this one away. But once 4 to 5 teams do it, I think Daniel tweeted me, he's like, I think it's fixed because how do the Patriots come back against the Jaguars, the Falcons, the Seahawks, the Raiders? God, that's like 5 teams, man. Like, okay, maybe it works for you one time, but 5 times? No, you didn't choke. The Patriots found a way to win again.
Well, no, but they've got that one player that nobody ever talks about. He wears the different jersey. It's like black and white stripes.
Oh, don't do that.
That one guy for the Patriots, he's really good.
Are you hopping on that conspiracy train where the referee was
hopping on? I've been feeding coal in the engine of that thing since the tuck rule. What are you talking about? Hopping on. I get my mail on the refs are the best part of the Patriots train.
I just felt like this weekend, and maybe it's a different train than the one that went off from the station this week, because the 2 things on Twitter that got the most hits from that game were did the first touchdown where the referee's like in the middle and he's smiling. Yeah. They somehow cut it to make it look like the ref was celebrating with the Patriots. And then at the end of the game where Brady takes the final knee, and the first person to congratulate Tom Brady is one of the officials in the game. Just saying, it felt a little bit crazy.
At the end of the game, when the ref walks up and like pats on Brady.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Like, hey, good job, buddy. That's a bad optic. That's a bad optic. Like, I just can't.
We haven't heard the term bad optic in a while, by the way.
I know.
2018
that was
resolution,
it.
Yeah.
That was it. I mean, you can't even, I don't know, without swearing, I don't know a better way to describe that situation. Can you imagine the ref walking up to you, like you're a player at the end of the ref walking up to you, good job today. Like, dude, not you, bro. That's like your mom kissing you goodbye on like your first day of like senior year in high school.
We just did
in front of everyone.
Yeah, we just did the WWE thing. By God, the refs with Brady. He turned heel. He worked for the Patriots. Real or mirage, the next one. Case Keenum will be a starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings next season. Real or mirage?
Man, I'm gonna go mirage. I think that organization loves Teddy Bridgewater too much. I think they'll let Keenum leave, and I think he'll get a job. I think he'll fight for a starting position somewhere. But I think Minnesota is just too in love with Teddy Bridgewater. Without Pat Shurmur there to champion the cause of either Sam Bradford or Case Keenum, I think it ends up being Teddy Bridgewater.
3 free agent quarterbacks, Bradford, Bridgewater, and Keenum. The answer to me, too, as much as I like Keenum, it feels like it's going to be a mirage for me, too, and here's why. There's going to be this, we've seen the coaching carousel now, but the quarterback carousel is next, and somebody's going to be left out. Is it going to be Kirk Cousins? Is it going to be Alex Smith? Is it going to be Tyrod Taylor? Probably not any of those 3.
Tyrod would be the one to be left out. I think most of, like I could see Case Keenum taking Tyrod Taylor's job.
So if it's Keenum versus Tyrod at the end, and the reason I leave those 2 at the end is because there's so many rookies that are going to be involved as well. One of these veteran quarterbacks who was a playoff quarterback last season is likely not to have a job because of 2 reasons. One, the love for the rookie class coming up in 2018, and 2, flat out because of money. Like, Keenum's going to be asking for a lot of money this offseason because he believes he should earn it because of what he's done for the Minnesota Vikings. It comes down to almost like Ryan Fitzpatrick a few years ago. Do you believe what you're going to pay Ryan Fitzpatrick is what he's actually worth? And that scares me a little bit when it comes to Case Keenum.
Anybody what they're worth anymore. I mean, even
too high or too low?
Everybody's making too much. But at the same time, the industry's making that much. So, but I'm just saying, like, when Kirk Cousins is going to be the highest paid quarterback in football,
and he didn't go to the playoffs, but 2 other guys did, they're going to be free agents. Yeah,
wasn't even the earliest drafted quarterback on his team that year.
Yeah. Well, let's go to this next one. Real or mirage? Nick Foles will be a starting quarterback in the NFL next season.
That's a mirage. They're going to keep him, and they're going to keep Wentz, and they're going to hope that Wentz doesn't get hurt this year. But, I mean, you're just so close to an injury in any given play, and Wentz, how long is Wentz going to – he's still walking around canes. You know what I mean? He's still got a cane. So, I think he's going to be – I think at some point he'll start a few games maybe for the Eagles, but I believe that he will be an Eagle behind Wentz.
It's been a long time since we've agreed on this many. I think 3 of the first 4 we agreed with, but I'm with you on this. Mirage as well, because he's played in just a few games. He really has. He played against the Raiders. He kind of played against Dallas, but not really. So he looked good in 1 game, and then he looked really good against Minnesota. So that's 4 games, enough to be a starting quarterback next season. Philadelphia will do everything they can to bring back Nick Foles next season. Maybe Foles might get some starts in September. I don't know what the market's going to be for people yelling to go get Nick Foles over all the other guys we just listed in the last question. So I'm with you as well. I know, even if he wins the Super Bowl, I know people on Twitter again freaked out like, you can't have Nick Foles as a backup if he wins the Super Bowl.
Well, actually, I can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Actually, if he's not good enough, he can be.
I mean, Carson Wentz would have been the MVP of the league this year if he doesn't get hurt.
I agree. 2 more for you here. Real or mirage, Albany basketball's blowout win over the weekend is a season-changing win.
I'm going to go mirage just because I don't like the wording. I'm going to go with a season reinvigorating, a reminder of how good you've been the whole time. Because remember, they came out like world beaters, and then they got into the conference play and kind of, fell apart a little bit. So I think this is the kind of win that goes, oh, yeah, no, we're the team that ran with Memphis, Louisville, and everybody else, not the team that lost to, Colony High School.
I get what you're saying, yes. Like, this is a classic Monday Mirage question because it feels so real. Like, why we play Monday Mirage is when you get really close, you think it's real, and then when you go to try to grab it, it's gone. It's disappeared. It's not really there. Because if you were to ask me the same question Thursday, I would probably say real if Albany plays well against Vermont. Then I could say, wow, they go out and beat up on this team over the weekend. Then they go and beat Vermont on the road. Yes, that was a season-changing win. I'm leaning towards real for now because if they had won by 10 or 20, maybe, but they were up by close to 40 points in that game. They only gave up 12 points to the team at halftime. So I'm going to go real, and I'm going to feel really stupid if Albany doesn't look good this weekend on the road against Vermont. Last one here, Levac. Real or mirage? Tanya, you want to see that movie, and you will see that movie at some point in 2018.
Not in theaters, but yeah, I'll definitely watch it. I'll definitely check it out because, first of all, I mean, I love Margot Robbie and I love Tanya Harding. I do. I'm not afraid to admit it.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to see this movie. I got a call from my dad on Friday night. He's like, I just saw I, Tonya. You have to go watch this movie. It's
so
awesome.
funny because you picked on me because I wanted to see it.
I know I did. I was killing you about it. I'm like, there's no way this is going to be good. My dad calls me and says, it's the best movie I've seen in a long time.
Really?
I will buy you tickets to the movie. It's that good. I'm like, all right, well, that's a pretty big praise. Let's go see it. I had 2 movie passes left. Me and Jordan went Saturday. I loved it, man. It is awesome. It's I think it's the best sports movie since Foxcatcher with Steve Carell, that wrestling movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then The Fighter. Like, those are the most recently good sports movies. This is up there. It's so different than what I thought it was going to be.
I haven't seen either one of those.
You haven't seen The Fighter?
No, I saw The Fighter. I'm sorry. I saw The Fighter.
Foxcatcher's a little intense. It's like it's a little less sports.
Especially when you know the real story and how close it is to the real story.
Yeah.
And it's like, we got the Incredible Hulk. Fix it. I don't understand what's going on there.
Those are Monday Mirages.